Welcome back to Odyssey News. I am Mike Odyssey, and today we have a one topic video, because let me tell you a story, okay? Let me tell you a quick story here. I woke up in the morning, right, and the birds were chirping and outside, and they're singing, and the sun was out, and I was just living in oh, you know, that little moment, like, it's morning time. It's time for Odyssey News. I'm so happy. I can't wait to get started. So I did my morning routine. I got my coffee. I ran over to my office and turned on the computer. Went to YouTube, and all of a sudden, everything broke loose. All hell broke loose. And I was like, what? What's going on? What's the deal? What's wrong? And I'm like, oh, okay. So there are, I would say, maybe over 50 videos out there claiming the Switch Pro is canceled, or the next gen, or the mid-fresh refit, or whatever Nintendo's coming up next is canceled, right? So I happened to take a look at one of these videos. I'm curious to see what these videos are talking about and why they say the things they say. And I can tell you that half of these videos are basically people telling, like, the influencers. This shocked me. This kind of really kind of changed my perspective of certain creators, and I had to unsub on certain creators just because of I did not know that they had this within them. And with this, I want to tell you, be careful who you sub to, whether they are there to be a good influence to you, or they are there to be a bad influence to you. If they are there to be a bad influence to you, though, they'll tell you, oh, other YouTubers, they will say that. Other YouTubers will say this and this and that. And these YouTubers say, whenever an influencer speaks about any other YouTuber, that is a bad influence. No matter in what, unless it's they're giving them praise, or they're recommending, like we all should do in the community, right? But whenever they start saying negative things about anybody, I don't care if my neighbor is doing something negative. That's within him and his community, and his community will soon find out, and then they will make their own choices. But I will never tell you that this person on my side and this person on my side, that you see this thumbnail and this other thumbnail over there, is doing something bad. Do not subscribe to them, because I will never tell you what to do, unless you want to subscribe in this video and then hit like and then leave your comment and all that stuff. You know, it's a recommendation, but I will never tell you what to do. So in these videos, they're talking about how the Switch Pro has been canceled, and by the way, they're calling it the Switch Pro. I don't like that term, because I don't like using that term. I like talking the next Switch, the next gen Switch, whatever Nintendo has next, just like I referred to as on this channel. And they're stating, wait, it's canceled, it's canceled, it's canceled. It's like everybody's holding like little picket signs saying it's canceled, it's canceled. I'm like, well, how is this canceled? Where did the why are they coming to this conclusion? Why are they breaking my heart like this? What's going on? And I just happened to go over to my Nintendo News, because that's a really good source for news. My Nintendo News is always a good source for news, and I see a story about Digital Foundry. You know how I feel about Digital Foundry. You know, I would never take what Digital Foundry says as gospel. I will never take what Digital Foundry says as the Bible. I will never take as what Digital Foundry says as stone. Like I'm writing on stone. I will never take what Digital Foundry says as solid proof that something is happening or not happening. And I want to go ahead and go straight to the quote and break down the quote, not the sword, not what Digital Foundry says about, not about my Nintendo News says about the topping, but the actual quote. And I want to go ahead and say it. This is the quote, okay, by Digital Foundry's John Linnerman, okay? So I think, there we go. So I think, if you went to school, if you know English, I think is a term referring to a person's thought. and it has to do with somebody's opinion. So when it says, so I think, it's not I know, right? It's not I'm 100% sure. Oh, I've heard it confirmed and it's really happening. It's on solid stone, solid ground. It's happening. No, I think. You would use I think as like, oh, I think it's gonna happen. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna. I think. I'm not sure. I think. That's a term you use I think in. So let's go ahead and continue. I think at one point internally. So I think at one point internally. For what I can't understand from talking to different developers. So what I can understand from talking to different developers. Okay, so basically it's like, okay, that's my point of view. That's my point of view, or what I feel like I understand by talking to this guy, and that guy, and that guy, and that guy, and that guy. So just like you can understand something, I can understand something, anybody can understand something, is that there was some sort of mid-generation update plan at one point, and that seems to be no longer happening. All right, thus it's pretty clear that whatever they do next is going to be the actual next gen hardware. How have I been reporting this console? Have I been saying Switch Pro, or have I been saying next gen? I've always been saying next gen. For just to clarify that area, I've always been saying next gen or whatever Nintendo has planned. Right? I always say that. Next gen or whatever Nintendo has planned. That's basically how I refer to whatever Nintendo's gonna do, because guess what? Gospel? Nintendo. Bible? Nintendo. It's solid truth. It's there. All right? It's there. Until Nintendo does not announce something, it's not solid. Not because somebody out there, no matter their credibility, says, I think it is said. It is done. I'm like, oh no. This person just said, I think. It's I think. He said, I think. Oh no, we're all doomed. It's gloom. Gloom, everybody. Gloom. It's all gloom and gloomy. But he said something within here that is true. Okay? And let me tell you what it is. You see this little machine here? Let's play some cookies. Nice cookies. There's this little machine right here. This little machine right here. Yes, it was supposed to be the mid-gen refresh, okay? Mid-gen refresh. Right here we have the mid-gen refresh because of chip shortages. Chip shortages. Yeah, because of that, this thing was forced to be named the Switch OLED. The OLED screen was not the only thing that this thing was supposed to have. It was supposed to have a better processor, a better chip, just a slightly better processor, not as big as like the next console, but something a little better than this. But it had postponed because of chip shortages. This right here, you can tell that the dock has another chip that is not active, and the dock can also get software updates. I'm not making that up. That's there. That you can actually get software updates on the dock, and we have yet to get a software update on there. This is just real proof. If you go to your Nintendo Switch OLED, if you have a Nintendo Switch OLED at home right now, and you have one of the real docks, okay, not the real docks, the newer docks, you can see that you can actually update the dock, right? You can even buy a dock on Nintendo for $49, the newer dock, and install it, and then put your Switch on there, and you'll see how that little update for the dock thingy will pop up, right? There will be no updates because Nintendo has not released one, but it's there. Something was supposed to happen that didn't happen. That is set in stone. That's been said already. It's not new. This thing is not brand new. It's not, okay? Now, let me tell you a little bit of a backstory, okay? There's a company out there that employs this guy. I'm not gonna say too much. Employs this guy, all right? And that company makes these devices, okay? These devices here, these devices right here employs this guy, right? And this company has a CEO. There was a CEO back in the day, that was very, very, very dreamy, very, very. Right now, he was very into innovation, right, and into bringing things to light, and he introduced the very first this device, just to protect myself, this device, and also the very first bigger device, a pad, iPad, the very first device in those sections, right? But then he entrusted the company over to somebody who was business savvy, who worried about the money, who made the choices for the company that had to do with keeping the company lucrative, productive, right? Every choice that this current CEO makes is lucrative, productive, and has made this company the biggest company in the world. Yes, $2 trillion and going up. Okay, the first $1 trillion company in the world, $2 trillion now. Now, we used to have a president, okay, who was innovative. All right, unfortunately, this past president also from Nintendo passed away. Right now, we have President Furukawa for Nintendo. Who is President Furukawa? He is a businessman. There are many similarities between Furukawa and this company's current president. They are both businessmen. They are both lucrative businessmen. People who will make choices based on finances and make sure that it is safe to move forward with a product. What has been happening with this product, by the way? Let me turn this off. We've had incremental upgrades. They all look the same, but it's incremental upgrades that have been done successfully to make this company the company it is. All right. This President Furukawa is doing the same thing with the Switch. You cannot look with this president. You cannot look in the past and determine what's going to happen in the future because it's a completely different mindset. This is the first president we have that's outside of the Nintendo family and the Nintendo family. This president is focused on making sure that the 215 million accounts for Nintendo are safe, that they move forward with caution. Okay, so the Switch OLED, they turned it into an incremental upgrade. And guess what? I'm on the camp that believes that there is another incremental upgrade coming. I'm not going to call it the Switch Pro. I'm not going to call it anything. I don't know what Nintendo's going to call it. I don't know when they're going to release it. I'm not going to preach telling you that Nintendo's going to do this next year or the following year. I'm only going to present to you the evidence that we've been talking about on this channel. The patents I've discovered for Nintendo bringing up things. We're not assuming on this channel. I don't talk about rumors. I don't talk about I think or I've heard from the grapevine that the Vine had a baby and the baby had a baby, I guess. I don't talk about he said, she said, or they said. I talk about what facts. Talk about patents, what I find. And then I tell you what I believe they could be. I give you options. I tell you this could be this, or this could be that. If you can, and you can look at my video patent, and I will link it down below. The one where I found the other Switch, either the next gen or the Zelda edition Switch, whatever it is. I can tell you exactly what I say there. I never claim to tell you that's a Switch Pro. I say this could be either two things, and I present all the options to you so that you could be better informed, right? Because that's what I do. I inform you of things that are happening in the world of Nintendo, and you make up your own mind whether you like it or not, or you accept it or not. You know what I mean? And so this article here stating, oh, no Switch Pro, or this article, by the way, they never say there is no Switch Pro coming. What he really said is that at some point they had a mid-generation refresh coming and they had to cancel it, but they really cancel it, or they turn it into the Switch OLED. That's the question. And is what they have next really canceled, or are they still working on it? Only Nintendo has the last word. Not me, not Mr. Linnerman, not the YouTubers out there who are for some reason upset at those people who are wanting a more powerful console, right? There's nothing wrong with the Switch right now as is, but there are certain games that a lot of people out there, and a lot of people out there would love to see on Nintendo side, right? And for some reason, the people out there who don't want this next update on the console, they have filled their hearts with some type of hate. I'm not gonna go as strong as hate, but you would see them talking more about people who talk about next gen, people who look forward to the future and like to talk about the possibility of things, right? And I don't think there's nothing wrong with talking about the future and the possibility of things. That's what keeps us moving forward, right? Thinking about innovation, thinking about things that could be made new, thinking about improving ourselves and improving life and improving our technology and everything we're confronted with. That's what keeps us moving forward. There's nothing wrong with our current console, but there's nothing wrong with talking about what's next. And I think that basically pointing fingers at other content creators is very irresponsible. I believe that we all have our communities and we have to be very responsible with them and make sure that we provide them with the right and accurate news and the right and accurate discussions. And that we as content creators try to be as positive as we can for our community. You know why? Because the world is full of negativity. The world is full of tragedy and full of things that we all want to get away from. And sometimes we go to YouTube and we click on a video and we try to find that escape with that video. And what we find is a content creator speaking about something else or speaking about somebody else. The world is full of hate already. There's too much hate. I think it's time for some kindness to reign and some love to take over and for us to just get along and to love each other and to just coexist. Whether you are on the side of wanting a next gen Switch, hey, I applaud you because you're looking forward and you want to see what's next, or you are on the side of knowing that then you just got your Switch and you are fine with what you have, then guess what? I applaud you as well, because guess what? You are happy with what you have. We can coexist without pointing fingers. And I believe that sometimes we just need to relax. I'm going to end this video with saying this. Switch, or the next gen Switch, or what is dubbed, which I don't like to call Switch Pro, or the next refresh in the lineup of Nintendo is not canceled. Mike, but why are you saying it's not canceled? Because it was never announced in the first place. It wasn't. Content creators like me find proof in patents, and I give you my opinions and what I believe they could be. We never claim that they are what they are. We give you our opinions on and it's fun to dissect these patents and look at them and study them and just imagine and see what Nintendo is doing, because they are there, they are real. It's Nintendo's actual work. It's tangible proof. It's not a rumor or he said or she said. It's tangible proof that Nintendo is actually working on something. This is a public document. It's a business document. It's a real document, right? And what we do is we dissect it and we give you our opinions and we talk about it. We discuss it. And that's all we do on the channel. So, Nintendo Switch next gen or next refresh or whatever it is not canceled because Nintendo never announced it. Until Nintendo announces something, for example, 1+2 Reboot Camp, the game, Advance Wars, Nintendo postponed it. It was announced, we saw the game with our eyes. It was postponed due to work conditions. Nintendo made a move to halt the production and the release of a game. You see, Nintendo can never cancel what they never announced, right? All right, that is going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. This is a discussion video about this topic, and I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what you believe, what you think. It's very important to me, and I value everybody's opinion. So make sure to hit like on this video if you like this topic. Leave your comment down below. And guess what? Before I let you go, I want to let you know what two very important things, guys. And this is very important, more than Switch Pro, more than anything. And it's number one, never ever give up. Number two, journey on. Peace.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without